Hello, Libra, and welcome to your New Year's Zodiac reading at the Oracle of Atlantis. I hope you're doing well today. So, we're going to dive into the tarot. This is the Learning Tarot cards. This deck right here. We're going to take a look at past, present, and future energies. So the first card is going to be the deep past affecting your current reality. So something that may have happened or transpired a year or years ago that are still affecting your current reality. We have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles represents learning some sort of new skill. You may be retraining fairly late in life. Financial gain and job satisfaction are indicated. Confidence that you will achieve your ambitions will help you stay on the right path. Can I get a clarifying card for this past energy for Libra, the Eight of Pentacles? Have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups could be connected to one's emotions, intuition. Perhaps you're even strengthening your intuition, your emotions. For some, this definitely could be putting in a lot of hard work, time, and dedication into a female. Whether that's a partner, a lover, a daughter, things of that nature. The Queen of Cups is highly imaginative, creative, sensitive, sympathetic, and kind-hearted, a good listener. She can advise others on matters that are causing concern. This card can represent a mature woman with these characteristics, or it can refer to the qualities in your own character. So after I pull out all the tarot cards, I am going to pull some oracle cards for advice for the past and advice for the future moving ahead. So recent past event, card number 2, recent past event that may hold some weight or resonance. We have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands can be connected to vibrancy and gratitude. The Queen of Wands is very magnetic, a charismatic type of person. This could definitely be your energy being perhaps charismatic recently in the past. The Queen of Wands is a wise woman, independent and authoritative, imaginative and intuitive, strong and courageous. She knows what she wants and how to get it. The Queen makes a warm, lively host who is generous with her gifts. This card may describe a woman you know who fits these characteristics or indicates that you need to develop these qualities in yourself. Clarify the Queen of Wands for the recent past. What is this connecting to for Libra with the Queen of Wands? We have the Five of Wands. For some of you, this could be connected to something to do with a boss. There could have been some sort of... The Five of Wands can represent some sort of conflict building here. With the Queen of Wands, it's almost like you may have had to take a leadership role in people that were perhaps battling or arguing. The Five of each suit mark the crunch points along the journey. The Five of Wands suggests conflict and the possibility of lawsuits. You've had to make difficult decisions and possibly stepped on other people's toes along the way. You need to hammer out the problem and find an honorable resolution. So for the Oracle's advice, I'm being called to use the Star Codes Astro Oracle. What is the overall advice to the viewer with this past energy of conflict with the Five of Wands and the Queen of Wands? And the deep past with the Queen of Cups. And what was behind the Queen? Oh, the Eight of Pentacles. What is the best advice for Libra for this past energy? What is the best advice for Libra? Guidance for the past. It's almost like in the deep past you were working on some like stronger, possibly heavy emotions with that Queen of Cups. And now in the recent past you have the Queen of Wands. So this can be working with your passions, your rage, your anger. We have solar flares with activation. So solar flares, I think that's when we get the northern lights, if I'm not mistaken. It's like the sun spitting out debris and extra energy and kind of recharging itself as well. The sun's surface is always rolling. A flare can flash brightly on the surface or become a coronal mass ejection, many times the size of the Earth, that shoots out charged particles. Changes in the air. A flare of energy supports your work. The mood is restless, sparky, revolutionary, and curious. People are hungry for change. It's not the time to be quiet, but to be fast on your feet. Solar flares magnify the energy on any other cards you pull. When the sun is storming, our social and political world activates, revolutionary change manifests, and trees grow faster in the forest. Aim carefully, because a solar flare brings momentum, not thoughtfulness, that you have to provide. A calm metaphysical perspective may not be easy, but you can bring that in to create balance and longevity. What you build during a solar flare may be hot and fervent, but not necessarily long-lived. To turn an idea or a love affair into something permanent, like a business plan or a partnership, will take conscious effort. The challenge with this energy: tempers flare along with the sun. You can scorch yourself with too much passionate action and not enough emotional sensitivity if you are not mindful. You can scorch yourself with too much passionate action and not enough emotional sensitivity if you're not mindful. It's almost like going back to that Queen of Cups energy. To allow the cool waters to calm any excessive energy. The gift: the sun is sending extra voltage and inspiration your way. So use it wisely. Feel the heat in the situation, the passion, and the people involved. Then balance the fire by adding water's compassion, the thoughtfulness of air, and the logistics of earth to turn that inspiration into reality. This is very much kind of right on your energy, Libra, about balancing opposite forces here, getting them kind of in alignment and agreement. It's giving me very much the Chariots type of energy. So what is the current moment, the present for Capricorn? What is going on in the present moment? We have the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups represents some sort of time of emotional fulfillment, dreams and wishes coming true, feeling happy and successful. The underlying energy, we do have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords can be a call to rest, to make sure you take time to rest so you don't become burnt out, right? And you did have all that Wands energy, and we started the reading with that Eight of Pentacles. So it's like almost balancing your energy to keep this wish or manifestation alive, to keep this joy and inspiration. Can I get a clarifying card with the Ten of Cups? The card indicates you have met or will meet the person with whom you want to spend the rest of your life with. A family life is indicated. You can relax and enjoy the rewards and efforts of your good fortune. Oh, damn. Then we have the Queen of Swords. So that is your energy, but it was interesting, right? We had that water, fire, then air, and then the next one was earth, which all of these elements kind of make up that earth element in the first place. A lot of queen energy, and I kind of like how they're showing up here. This has something to do with your psyche here. You may be guided to ask to lean on the cool waters of forgiveness for a bit here, but I'm just noticing this queen is looking to the past. This queen is looking to the future. The Queen of Swords is very much logic, perception, justice. The Queen of Swords has a strong mind and a keen intelligence. She is kind and fair and not afraid to fight for her principles if her duties require it. This card may represent a female who displays these qualities, or may indicate the time is right for them to be developed by the querent. So you have a lot of queen energies, and the next card would be the kings. And I kind of see the kings as like basically the mastery of that specific element. So Queen of Water, Queen of Fire, and Queen of Air. It's almost like your emotions, passions, and intellect are all very balanced at this time. Or have been balanced. You're pretty in alignment with past, and present all being queens, right? They're all on that like even keel here. But I'm just seeing the trident here in the shape of the queens. Which can represent the psyche, the subconscious and conscious mind coming into unification, or the masculine and feminine mind into unification to create that power, that charismatic presence and ambition. But with the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords can be perhaps dishing out some truth as well as receiving some sort of truth at this time. So there may be new perspectives granted, new insights, things of that nature. So now let's take a look at the near future. What is going to happen or transpire in the near future for Libra in like the next 7 to 14 days. Near future energy. So we have the Devil. So the Devil in this deck actually does represent success in business. But the Devil can chain us to perhaps insecurities, fears, things of that nature, to try and get us to acknowledge our bondages, to help heal us and set us free from them. You also have the Three of Wands coming out with it. The Three of Wands can be very much a card of looking towards the future with hope and trusting that what is meant for you will find you here. You will find your way through this energy. It may feel a little dark. It may not feel dark at all. It could be temptation, lust, and desires. And I can't really give you the advice for that because everyone's journey is different. If you've already gone through your lust and desires many, many times, then it may be a call to have some discipline and restraint. But if you haven't explored those desires, those may be something that you actually have to explore before that you'll ever find any kind of resolution or contentment. So the devil, lust, greed, rage, primal instincts, secrets, shadow, success in career, and personal interests. The devil card does not indicate evil. It asks us to confront the shadowy, instinctual part of ourselves. Following the perfect balance of the angel in the temperance card, the fool is reminded of those parts of himself that are self-serving, which he has tried to hide even from himself. The temperance card is the card before the devil, which is kind of what you have almost with all those, that queen energy, tempering those energies. When this card appears in a spread, things we don't like to admit about our character and desires may be trying to break into our consciousness. A neglected part of us needs to be heard. Personal gain and success in our career are indicated by this card. The image on the card suggests the success is on the horizon, the Three of Wands. The first stage of our project has been completed, but there's much work ahead. Remember to remain humble. You have not always been this fortunate and could lose your fortune again if you are not careful. So where is this destination, this ultimate journey of self leading Libra? Ooh, I like that. We have the Two of Pentacles into balance, which is totally your energy, Libra. So it's like the divine suggesting or saying that you very much are on the exact right track here. I'm not sure we can ever really be totally off track. I mean, we can in our physical lives, but on the spiritual path, there's not really such a thing. You may feel trapped at times, though, finding that balance. But you got to realize the balance too is the balance between the old and the new. So as you're releasing the old, you haven't quite discovered the new. So sometimes we can feel very stuck and lost in that energy. Balance takes time. This card is concerned with weighing up the pros and cons of a matter and making carefully considered decisions. Under the circumstances, you are challenged to make the most practical choice you can. So I want to pull the Oracle's advice for this future energy. For that devil, the balance, trusting and believing that your ships and good opportunities are coming towards you. I'm not going to pull another card for the future because we have balance. I think that's a good place to kind of stop looking, right? You don't want to dive too much into the future and get stuck on waiting for things to transpire. So what is the Oracle's advice or guidance for the future energy with the devil, the Three of Wands, leading into the Two of Pentacles? What is the best advice? So we have two cards that want to come out. We have Virgo's energy with digest. So this can be connected to our digestion. This may be a call to do like a fasting or a purging, or perhaps change what we eat if we're feeling congested. Then we have the South Node with the past energy, which is usually a card of releasing. We have angel number 33 coming through here. You may want to connect to your South Node. The reason why I say that is Virgo is actually my South Node. Virgo can be a bit of a perfectionist energy, but it's also the maiden or the virgin of the zodiac. So it's like finding things, and this could even be trying things and seeing them out and listening to your gut and how it responds. Where the South Node is connected to our foundations, usually how we build that energy in the first place. Look for the grain and release the chaff. Weed, harvest, and sort. Something in the situation needs to be sorted, edited, or reorganized in order to bring it into harvest. Whether you're asking about a relationship, a work project, or the culture in which you work, Virgo wants you to be specific. Sort and release a habit, not a person, and change how you interact, but not necessarily with whom you interact. Examine the situation with whom you interact. Examine the situation for the patterns that need to be released and composted, and what seeds need to be saved for another time or planted for the next season. Rather than focusing on faults, appreciate what is available about each interaction, opportunity, and person. Truly absorb the worth and wonder and be healed thereby. What's up, Helios? Sorry, my cat is just howling in the background. He does that sometimes. He goes on rants and starts talking to himself. Well, maybe he's not talking to himself, just talking. But it may be time to take an introspective break and work on your self-care routine. Look at your diet and health habits to see what needs improvement. Absorb vitality. And then the South Node. So you may want to look into your natal chart if you don't know what your South Node is. You can go to, if you type in free natal chart on Google, one of the top ones is Astrology Cafe. If you type in your place of birth, time and date of birth, as well as your name, I think that's all the information. Oh, and an email address. It'll give you a breakdown of the position of the planetary alignments from the time and place you were born, if you don't know what they are already. So like I said, your South Node, they do say it's kind of like the energy. It's like an energy that you're perfected, or a foundation. So for me, like my South Node being Virgo being like the virgin or the maiden. The virgin or the maiden is all about exploring life, not necessarily having the answers, just seeking what's out there. They can also be perfectionists. So when it comes to art and building things, they kind of like things a particular way. And I'm trying not to be. My North Node is Pisces, which is kind of the opposite of this energy. Pisces is more the realm of the artiste, which is the artist is a little more messy and free flowing, where Virgo's energy is a little more, it likes to know where it's going and what it's doing so that it can try. It's almost like an OCD energy or a controlling energy to keep everything together perfect, if you will. Whereas Pisces energy is kind of the opposite. It's almost like working in the chaos. But with the South Node energy, this could be the energy that you've worked with your whole life. The energy that it's your comfort zone, what you're so used to. But that is the foundation kind of who you are, and the building blocks moving ahead towards your North Node. And your North Node is essentially your soul's purpose or direction, kind of where you're headed to in this life, or trying to achieve what your goal is. The North Node, I do see that as the compass as well, always trying to follow your true north as much as possible, which isn't always possible, but you should try to. So the South Node, under stress, you may fall back on familiar defenses and relive what you always lived. PTSD, flashbacks, and addictive habits or relationships all operate around your South Node. Use this opportunity to heal triggers and patterns from the past. Take them as teaching moments and learn. Then your hard-earned skills and wisdom can help you build your future. That's what I said. I was picturing the Baroness from Cruella. Could do with a little bit of lining. That's what I said, as she throws her garbage out the window. digest with Virgo's energies. So you may want to, if you're not, if you don't normally listen to your gut, you may want to start tuning into it a little bit more. I've noticed, like with my stomach, I have what my boss, old boss used to say, a bread basket, which is basically just a spare tire, which is basically a gun. But I've noticed too that when you get into like um, self, why does that plant keep doing that? Sorry, I have a bamboo and the water keeps. I don't know if you can see it. It keeps exposing this like white crap. Anyway, totally got distracted. Squirrel. I totally don't even remember what I was saying. I totally got right distracted there. Listening to your gut health, that's what I was saying. One thing I've noticed with people that put on weight and have a hard time losing it, a lot of that can be our own perception. So that could be where that solar flares of the past is coming out with that Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Because it's very much like if you dropped water on the sun, it would like evaporate, right? Kind of spit it out a little. But with weight loss and things of that nature, gut health, with gut health, if you're having a lot of tension and pain in the stomach, it could be because you're over stressing about things, like you're worrying about things too much, and there's a need to force yourself to relax in some form or another. Go for a walk, smoke a joint if you have to. Whatever you have to do to try to not worry about it, because if you worry too much, you're like, it's almost like you're constricting your intestines and making it harder for the digestion. But with weight, if you're trying to lose weight and struggling or not feeling great about your weight, one of the problems actually is the mind. And when the mind is self-sabotaging or getting down on itself, I feel like the fat actually just like holds on and builds upon itself. Whereas if you can force yourself to shift your inner narrative, change your perspective, even if you don't feel great about yourself, start trying to feel great about yourself. Tell yourself lies, sweet little lies, until you start to feel better about yourself, and that'll kind of help get the digestion back on track, right? There's this energy with IBS symptoms, which can be connected to boundaries and the lack of. So if you have balance, boundaries, and compassion, your digestion should be pretty okay. That IBS symptom should kind of disappear. If it's not balance, if you're too strict in a lot of areas in your life, or vice versa, too slack, that can create bowel issues as well. So keeping that, it's almost like keeping yourself disciplined, but also still knowing when to enjoy moments of life. That devil energy in the future, this could even be for some, there may be a call to even risk something here, a fear or insecurity to kind of grab life by the balls and do something out of the ordinary with that Virgo and South Node showing up as the advice here. Do what feels good in your gut here, right? Because I could see this very much as staying in your comfort zone may actually be the best course of action, unless that comfort zone is really starting to irritate you or drive you crazy, right? Then it may be a call to shake things up. You can put that into your situation. We do have this card slipping out here, the 9th house of exploration. So the 9th house of exploration can be connected to Sagittarius's energy. Although your ninth house placement probably won't be Sagittarius, but Sagittarius is the archer of the zodiac. So it's very much the energy of exploration and spiritual growth and development. So with this card coming out after I was just talking about your comfort zone with that Virgo energy in the South Node, it may be a call to go outside of your comfort zone a little bit and explore. So for the parting words, words to live by, I'm going to pull you a message from the Avalon Magic Oracle. Parting words of advice, words to live by for today for Libra, please and thank you. Libra. New for the year 2025. So we have this little harp here. So there may be a call to write. There could be a call to express yourself through music of some sort. When you allow your inner light to shine and connect with your divine spark, there is a surge of love, of self that can override all fear. I think I want to put that one over here just because that devil's back here, right? Then we have this card. This card could be a call to return home or frequent a place that you haven't been to in a long time. Honor your soul path and step into your authentic self. Let your intuition inform your pathway. So that's kind of maybe why we're looking back to this Queen of Cups energy here. To inform your intuition and lead the way here. You may have even worked with your intuition in the past, but not been doing it so much as of lately. Like I don't work with this stuff all day, every day for myself. There are times, like I don't really pull cards for myself lately. I just don't have any burning questions to ask, really. There are the odd times. A lot of times when I pull cards to myself, it's for myself. It's probably more just to stay connected and into it. I do see things with my intuition lately that I haven't seen before. Like hindsight is definitely making a lot more sense. Things are starting to, I don't know, like with the cards, there are times where I will pick up a deck of cards and I'll look at the bottom of the deck and see what card is there, and then I'll shuffle it. And most of the times that card comes right out. But there may be a call for some to tap it back into maybe even intuitive promptings or even maybe emotions here. Like that card with music. Music, if I'm in the right mind frame, can evoke a bunch of emotions, right? Tap into things, which can then help us cry and release old emotions and certain energies, things that maybe we feel a certain way about but maybe don't have full control over, right? And that's like relationships and things of that nature, right? In a relationship there's always two people, so you can only ever control 50% of the situation. The other 50% is up to the other person, really. I mean, I guess you could control more than 50%, but if you do that, you're kind of taking away somebody else's rights for selfish trajectories kind of energy. But music may help. It may be connecting to intuition. You may want to work with, I'm seeing yellow. So yellow can be connected to the solar plexus chakra, which is connected to our confidence, our joy, and our strength of will. If you see oranges, that could be connected to the sacral chakra, which is the lower gut, which is more that feminine energy. But you could also, with all those queen's energy, you could be strengthening that energy. The sacral chakra, it can be connected to like tantric sex if you have like say tantric sex, so like massaging, and it's like a deeper spiritual connection, sacred as it were. But it's very much connected to um, the womb of the mother. And within the womb of the mother, the waters have existed for eons, right? Like you're kind of born in that or you're conceived, not conceived, what is the word? Cultivate, grow in that amniotic fluid, which your mother would have grown in that fluid too, and so on and so on and so on. So a lot of the energies can actually be passed down subconsciously and emotionally, and using your intuition to work through that energy to heal and release it to find one's own balance. So if you're interested in working with the chakra systems, those are the two that are connected more to the gut. The sacral chakra is below the belly button. The solar plexus chakra, which is the first one I was seeing, and I am still seeing, I'm seeing like a moon kind of with a crescent of orange on the outside, but the majority of it is yellow. So this could be, to me, could represent a couple of things. It could be that working more on the higher gut, which is that sun, right? You did have that energy of the solar flares here, and that sun can help illuminate shadows within. But it's also if you're working from the ground up, which did kind of come through with that South Node and Virgo's energy of foundations. It's almost like these three queens are connected to the sacral chakra, and you're almost about to out I don't know if it's outgrow, but it's like strengthening this orange energy, this sacral chakra, to come into the solar plexus chakra to move up to the next tier or level in the chakra systems and building upon that foundation. So the cards did say you're on the right path. With the sacral chakra and that double energy, though, the sacral chakra can be connected to our energy and creative centers, and that can also be connected to the sacral chakra through bondages, lust, desires. And bondages can be things as, you know, if you, I don't know, if your mother or your parents never made you feel attractive, worthy, good enough type of energy, that is kind of where the bondage comes from. It's like you're trapped in that bondage and seeking some sort of release or ailment through other people or experiences, perhaps, that may be potentially self-deprecating. They don't all have to be, but sometimes, usually they are. So by healing that energy and finding that your own balance, with the whole thing I was talking earlier about IBS symptoms, is a lot of my family suffers from IBS symptoms, which is sometimes, and it doesn't happen very often. It used to happen only around specific people. Sometimes at night I would get like this like sharp stabbing pain in my gut, and it was like I had to take a dump, but but it wouldn't come, and it's just pain. And then I started to realize after there's certain people connecting to why that energy is. And when I looked into IBS symptoms, it basically said that IBS symptoms, there's a balance within the family that needs to be struck, and if it's not struck, it'll create IBS symptoms. And what that balance is if a parent gives their child all love and no boundaries, which would basically be the kid can do whatever they want, they're loved beyond measure, blah, 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 blah. It creates an imbalance. Also, if there are too many boundaries and no love, basically parents who have children to keep them as slaves and increase their income, or some self benefit without actually wanting children. There's a lack of love going on there, which again creates that imbalance, which can create that pain and tension in the gut. So it's, if you fall into one of those categories from your parent being like overly coddling or not giving you like any attention at all, it's purging and healing that energy so you don't allow it to suffocate and drown you here, because it's not technically your fault or responsibility, and it may not be the parents either. um a lot of stuff like that is, obviously how we're raised, things we've gone through as a society. Like over the years, society has certain expectations for people, and a lot of people try to follow those expectations because they believe that is the right way to go. But then if we don't meet those expectations, we can be really hard on ourselves, right? So it's kind of like learning to love and find that balance and appreciation within ourselves, even if we feel it wasn't granted. That's going to help work through any lower self image we have of each other, any need, yearning, desires, because those desires are usually linked to past events or situations, and subconsciously we hold on to them and they kind of dictate the path moving forward. But if you can break this habit, these cycles or patterns, it'll change your whole perspective of life and the direction and how you walk it moving forward. So I will leave the reading there. We have angel number 22 coming through. Twos are all about our personal values and self-worth. Twos are the house of Taurus. 2 plus 2 is a 4, which is the house of Cancer's energy. So Cancer's energy is connected to the moon, the subconscious, the intuition, the home, the family, and nurturing the self within, which then leads into Capricorn's energy. So Cancer and Capricorn sit exactly opposite each other on the zodiac wheel. And Capricorn's energy is the outer reality. So whatever's going on within is going to manifest without. And kind of vice versa, right? Like sometimes you can use the outside world to heal and explore within, and other times you need to work with what's in and heal that energy to change your outer reality. What your goals and desires, what you're gravitating towards, what you actually, what your desires can shift if you heal the past, is the energy I'm basically trying to say, long story short. So I will leave it there. If you are going to do this energy, the best advice I can offer you is, readings help. Meditation music helps a lot too. Taking time to take a breath, especially if you feel yourself getting anxious or worked up, take some time to be alone, to take some deep breaths. You may want to tell yourself positive affirmations, which is anything positive and beautiful about yourself. Usually it's an affirmation to me is the things we actually don't feel. So when you don't feel that way about yourself, you want to reaffirm the energy you wish to feel to pull yourself out of this trap, to keep your balance and not succumb to this devil energy of one's own mind or perhaps even emotions here. But I will leave the reading there. If you resonated with this reading, if you understand, if you enjoy it, please feel free to hit that thumbs up. Share the page with anyone that may get some advice or need some help. That would be greatly appreciated. If you want to check out Instagram, I will have my Instagram page in the description box, as well as my PayPal, should you feel so inclined to donate. That'd be greatly appreciated. All the decks I have used, I will have listed in the description box as well. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.